Jonathan Haidt, a social psychologist at NYU, observes an indisputable fact when he examines the charts that monitor the mental health of teenagers. Anxiety and depressive disorders go up with a sharp increase, he claims, starting in 2012, 2 years after Instagram launched and 5 years after the iPhone was first introduced. Since then, the percentage of teenagers who claim they use the internet almost constantly has risen to almost 50%, compared to 15%, while the number of teen suicide and self-harm events has increased by over 100%. This is unlike anything we've ever seen. There is abundant proof of harm, according to Haidt. It occurred simultaneously in several nations at a certain period in time, when teenagers switched from flip phones to smartphones. It seems as though someone has killed you, and every eyewitness implicates this person. There's no other reason. Haidt explores the relationship between this great rewiring, in which we've substituted kids' playtime with phone time, and the collapse in teen mental health in his most recent book, The Anxious Generation: How the Great Rewiring of Childhood is Causing an Epidemic of Mental Illness, which is currently available. In an interview with People for a Story that appears in this week's issue, Haidt proposed solutions to the issue. What is the relationship between children's mental health and smartphones? Imagine if a toy was released out of the blue that made kids sleep less, exercise less, and interact with other kids less. They would become extremely self-conscious as a result, which would also damage their self-worth and lead to anxiety and sadness. That sounds like a terrible idea. Children's play-based childhoods, which have always existed, are giving way to phone-based childhoods. It was acceptable to argue 5 years ago that there was only a correlation between smartphones and mental health, but that is no longer the case. Every piece of evidence supports it. Does the issue solely stem from smartphones? In the 1990s, parenting got more vigorous in the US and other English-speaking nations. These days, parents are spending a lot of time with their children, attempting to prepare them for college, supervising, and training them. That might help them get into college, but once they're there, it will make them less competent, self-assured, and content. The work of childhood is play. Children's brain development depends on how much they play. And when they play alone, that's when it works best. If an adult is close by, they are more likely to step in and resolve any disputes. The best part, though, is the conflicts. Conflicts are necessary for children to practice negotiating. Why is communication over the internet worse than in person? You're preventing them from having an experience. Social media interaction differs greatly from in-person communication. Emojis are not a replacement for genuine laughs or smiles. Additionally, interactions on social media are asynchronous. You utter something, then you wait, wondering, why didn't she answer? There is no tension when two friends converse over the phone or in person because they are connecting. True connection isn't theatrical, it's bonding. You perform for the entire globe on a social media platform, and social comparison is a continuous. What should be altered? We would be in the same boat with social media if Congress had decided to pass legislation that said, you have to be 21 to drink, but we're going to give immunity to the alcohol industry. It's the parents' job to keep their children out of bars. It's nonsensical. There is no way parents could do that. Raising the age of consent to use social media to 16 is the most significant action the government can take. As of right now, the law states 13, but it is not enforced. It cannot be made safe once children are on. Children suffer greatly from social media. Enforcing age verification on social media platforms is crucial. Companies would take swift action to address any harm they cause to minor users if they were held accountable. What actions are now possible? It goes without saying that phones have no place in schools. What if we could offer children 7 hours a day to eliminate the pressure to keep up? Parents should postpone the day when their children have unrestricted access to the internet, at least until middle school, as the internet is not going to have any controls anytime soon. At that point, the most damage is done. Pupils in middle school do not require personal smartphones. Give the flip phone to them. Children also require greater freedom of play, responsibility in the actual world, and independence. By overprotecting them there, we're not doing them any favors. While phones are everyone's concern, there are a lot of play-related tasks that need to be completed. To encourage more of that, Lenore Skenazy, author of the wonderful book Free Range Kids, and I co-founded an organization called Let Grow. If all of your child's pals have smartphones, it can be difficult to tell them they can only have a flip phone. Early action is most effective when taken together. Connect right now with the parents of your children's friends if you are a parent of a child under 10. They are also concerned about this, I assure you. Plan ahead, your children will spend a lot of time playing with each other rather than having phones. That's not, let's take away phones, then. For children who have grown up with cell phones, is it too late? It's not too late at all. Since they are still young, things could change. I am receiving incredible outcomes from my NYU Flourishing class students. They're all roughly 19 years old. Everybody is dependent on their phones. We practice attention-controlling activities, and I spend a lot of time helping kids with their bedtime and morning routines. They achieve incredible outcomes once they realize what this is doing to them and that they must protect their attention like it's the most valuable resource. They spend less time on screens. They discover they can do their assignments. They are not continually cut off. Hence, making small lifestyle adjustments can have a big impact, especially if done jointly, which is crucial. Furthermore, no one in Generation Z is expressing the sentiment, "We need our social media, don't take it away from us." I wish we lived in a world without social media, is what they are saying. The fact that Gen Z is not defensive or in denial is one of their true strengths. They can see how this is affecting them. They're going to take it if we can assist them in escaping this trap. Pick up the most recent issue of People, which goes on sale this Friday, or subscribe here for more writing by Jonathan Haidt.